What's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Italian Stallion, ready for another episode of Rebels with a Cause. It's Tuesday night, 9:30. You know what time it is, baby. It's time for the cause, because that cause don't stop when the clock hits zero. Just remember that. Gonna have a great show tonight. Got so much to talk about. And guys, July is done. It's now August, and you know what time it is, baby. It is football time in America, in Tennessee, at Sutherland Avenue. We got some Marble City Warriors ready to take the field on Friday night. We got some exciting news that we're going to bring to you. We kind of just decided right before the show. That's why we were a little delayed going live. And remember, guys, if you're watching live or recorded, hit that like and subscribe button. Throw them W's up. Put your comments in the chat box. Just give us that love that we know that you got out there, because we all got that cause going on, because that cause don't stop, baby. It's always going. Gotta also give a big shout out to my two girls. They were actually taking care of me today at the King's Chamber. They love this show. They are their own Rebels with a Cause. I want to give a shout out to King's Chamber, Miss Kim Castle and Rachel Davis. They are officially open. So hit them up. Look at these numbers. Text them. Get your spot. They got VIP packages. I'm telling you, when you walk into the chamber, you are a true king. They give you the royal treatment, shoulder massages, beard trims, hairs. They were working on me. There's pictures on social media. I'm sharing them on my page. If you haven't seen so already, at least you get a laugh, and they'll take care of you right there. Also, they do the waxes, the facials. They make you get taken care of, and not to mention, you can smoke, have a cigar, watch a little sports, and also have a couple of drinks, all when you go visit them over at the chamber. So go there. Give Miss Kim, give Miss Rachel a shout out. And I know that this Rebel with a Cause, this stallion, always appreciates their efforts. So keep doing your thing, ladies, and blessings and much success given to you guys in your cause. So, and we'll do our part here and let them know that Rebels with a Cause referred you. You might get a little bit of a discount on that initial visit. So check them out there. Also want to give a shout out to my boy, Alex Thatcher, a class of 2003 grad. His company there, Knoxville Coffee Company, in the heart of Marble City off of Sutherland Avenue. It's a dang good brew, baby. In the morning, in the afternoon, or even if you're working that graveyard shift, go pay him a visit, get you some coffee. You won't regret it. It will keep you going all hours of the day and night. So shout out to Mr. Alex Thatcher, class of 2003, Rebel with a Cause. And also, just remember that the views and opinions of this show are not affiliated with those of any other organization or of West High School. This is simply the views of the Rebels with a Cause crew. That's myself, the Italian Stallion, two-pair Tate, Brian Tate, the stat man himself, Mr. Shane O'Mac, Shane McGee. But remember, baby, we do it with nothing but love, because we all Rebels with a Cause. Want to make sure that chat box is going tonight, and everybody gets their opinion on there. We got a lot to talk about, like I mentioned. And remember, just so everybody just needs to be reminded, the defending back-to-back champs are going to show what they're all about, the 2024 version. You see, we got one of these over my shoulder that was 2022 that went 15-0. We got this one last year with a 14-1, 29-1 in the last 2 years. As you can see right underneath where it says the Italian Stallion, we have been 5A champions for 606 days and counting. The reigning, undisputed, defending Beasts of the East 5A champions. Don't you ever forget it. That's what this is all about right here, baby. And it starts this Friday. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Can you feel that excitement? And let me tell you something. This show just isn't about football, but it's that time. And that's what we get excited about. Because without these guys, there wouldn't be a show, honestly. Without the contributions of myself, my brothers, Shane, and two-pair Tate, Brian Tate, there wouldn't be a show. We do this with all the love. So definitely give us a shout, share our message. And if you are a West High alum, no matter what year you graduated, you walk around with pride no matter where you're at, and you always throw up that W because you're a winner and definitely a rebel with a cause. But without further ado, wherever you are, whether watching this live or recorded, I want you to give some love to my co-host, my brother, my favorite Florida State Seminole, the Mr. 2003 West, the voice of the Rebels and Lady Rebels for 18 plus years. He is Mr. West. Even though it was just that 1 year, he has been Mr. West ever since then. Love this guy, love his passion. He loves the West Rebels just as much, if not more than I do. Let's give it up for the one, the only, two-pair Tate, Brian Tate. What is up, baby?
Man, what's happening, man? What's going on, man?
Oh, dude, I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
Excited. I was thinking, I was like, we may have to do the show on the road because it's a big scrimmage. I think the last time we went on the road was at Gibbs, and it was our first road show. Because I kind of feel like for the scrimmages, I feel like we give a more wholeness to it by being there and having it captured. But I will say this: I got to give a shout out to my guy that I played on college football just now.
Oh, okay.
The Seminoles had to go to Memphis. It was a very tough victory, very hard fought. Hey, caught him on them jet sweep passes. You know about the jet, and I gotta give a shout out. I gotta give a shout out to Kim and Rachel because I actually know Rachel. So yeah, I gotta give a shout out to Kim and Rachel. Got to give a shout out to my barber Josh Fink and my man Corey over there at Razor Sharp Barbershop. Way down west. If you want to, go get your. I gotta give you a shout out because those the promo last week.
Oh yeah.
Yo,
the
clips,
mic drop.
I like the clips that we've been putting up too, man. So I'm gonna start working on a lot of these clips.
Because we have a lot of fun doing this. I mean, a lot of the things, like what about that goofy picture I took behind the scenes with the cigar and the green screen and the rings and everything?
Man.
Like,
yeah,
we have fun. We just have a lot of fun. So we do.
Yeah,
we
man.
really do. So,
and I want to shout out Big O. I ran into Big O before we got on the show tonight.
Yeah.
And we've got to have a show where Big O and Wyatt DeRoche get to meet. We got to get that because I mean
that's
so
a couple
close.
of generations apart, right there. To be honest with you, that's pretty awesome right there. So
because Big O told me, he's like, yeah, that's my favorite player is Wyatt DeRoche, and I was like, man, he's an incredible player. But the I love all these kids, man. Like these kids are like my nephews. So we're just instilling in them. We're instilling in them greatness because they can do it. Like football, basketball. We got a flag. We got a girls' flag football coach now.
We do.
Like how cool is that, right?
Well,
and
can I tell you this? I want to give a shout out to Lindsay Price, now Lindsay Kirkpatrick. She got married a wonderful man, have a daughter together. She wrote me and she said, why did they not have this when we were in school? Because I totally would have been on this team. Because she always did the powder puff and she was good. She was athletic. She played girls soccer. She was the type of girl that would play ball with you. Like she would not, And so, she was awesome. So I want to give a shout out to Lindsay Kirkpatrick. So
shout out to her, class of 03.
Class of 03, man. I'm more close to you guys. I'm more close to your 03 than I am my 02. I mean, that's just a fact because we all came in together. Remember, we came in together. You all were freshmen, but I was a sophomore. So I always have felt very much closer to you guys than my own 02. But I have a lot of love for 02 as well. So
it's funny how like me and you became friends off of a football rivalry. Because you wore that Dan Morgan jersey,
my 44 jersey, even though I had 45. So
I saw that Dan Morgan jersey, and I just was like, oh, you're a Canes fan.
And they weren't very good either. They were just coming off of probation and 8-4 and so forth. I mean, they got to that
Your sophomore
2001.
year?
Sophomore year, we went 9-4 in
That was my
99.
freshman.
Yeah,
Oh, you know
yeah,
what? No. Is
yeah.
that the game where y'all beat UCLA?
No, that was the year before with Edger and James, 98. That would have been you, eighth
So
grade. Yeah, you were eighth grade
yeah,
that
that was
year.
my eighth grade.
Yeah.
I felt like that was the we
That
talk
that
about
was
it
the
all the
game
time.
that that was the game that announced that Miami was on the way back.
Quote unquote back, yes.
Yeah, the
Because
game
you
that's
ruined UCLA's
chances,
chance
and
at a national
Tennessee
title.
was firmly now in to the Fiesta Bowl because
Yeah.
remember it was that UCLA, Kansas State, Tennessee who was going to be somebody was going to be left out, and then UCLA loses to Miami. Brandon Stewart leads
Yeah.
A&M to upset Kansas State and
Kansas
Michael
State.
Bishop, and
Yeah.
so literally.
Sir Parker.
And
Sir
that's how
Parker.
Florida
Yeah.
State got
Yeah.
to get in there, even though they didn't have Chris Winkie, they had Marcus Outson as the
Allison,
quarterback,
who
and Florida
scored.
State
Oh
got to
my
go
God.
in there
Such a
with
bad
Tennessee.
quarterback.
Yeah,
Such a bad quarterback.
yeah.
But no, like I love the fact that me and you bonded over a football rivalry.
Oh,
Like that's like
absolutely.
one of my you're one of my closest friends, like because of college football.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
And
And
rocking
that's
jerseys of our
rocking
favorite teams.
jerseys.
So, yep.
Yeah, yeah. Because I
Yeah.
remember, I was a Peter Ward guy.
You were a Peter
You know,
Ward
I
guy,
was a Peter Ward
and
guy.
he was amazing. I mean, he was
Yeah.
amazing. So, yeah.
I just think
Um,
back to those games, man. Like
dude, that
it's
was
some of the
just
best
such.
football I've ever seen.
And you know what you know what makes it even like more nostalgic to pair, not just because of those special teams back then for our respective
Yeah,
schools, but do you want to know something? Do you think that those schools would have amassed that amount of talent with the NIL that goes on now? I mean, I just do not
right.
foresee Santana Moss sitting behind Jamie German or anybody like
No,
that or something like,
Santana
he's going to
Moss
go,
would not sit behind
no,
Jamie German,
or
Yatil
Magic Benton or
Green.
Yatil Green. No, he would never
No,
do that.
and you
No.
know what Magic Bennett was
Yes.
like.
Yes.
You remember those punt returns or kick
Uh-huh.
return? That
I mean, he
was
lived up to his name, Magic Benton. Can
Bennett.
you
Yes,
believe that?
yeah,
Magic Benton. So, yeah.
man,
But
dude. I remember there were times where like you remember that like first 3 weeks where Magic Benton was like he made a big play in the game. Like it was 3 weeks in a row where it was like Magic Benton return, Magic Benton. Yeah,
mhm.
man, that
I
was
mean,
a
he made a
time.
name for himself,
God,
but that's what I'm just saying. Like even Peter Warwick, look at all the great running backs at Florida State. Would they have sat behind, Warwick Dunn or like look at those quarterbacks that all waited their turn. I mean, you just won't see that now, and it's hard to keep everybody happy. And it's just going to be very interesting. And now those seasons are upon us. The college football, what's it called? Their fall training has started. Media days are over, and they themselves have started their fall training camps. And here in 4 weeks, or 5 weeks, we're gonna get to see what it's all about for college football. So, and
yeah,
then
man.
high school. I mean, we talk about the scrimmage this Friday, and I want to bring on our stats guy because I want to ask him a lot about his views of scrimmages, him being a coach and doing scrimmages at a middle school level, but still at a level of football where it shows you how important scrimmages cannot be at the exact same time simultaneously. We want to talk about shout outs real quick. I also want to give a shout out to the quarterback himself, Mr. Parker Dubon, subscribing to the show. I hope that you let all the other teammates know. Go on ahead and hit that like and subscribe button.
Yeah,
Get it
let
out
all the
there, man.
guys know,
Let
man.
all the
Like
guys know. Hit that like and subscribe
shout out to my
button.
guy Jay Mills, baby.
Yep, Jay Mills.
Jay Mills.
Shout out to
Burdine.
Yadik Cook, Captain Jack,
The chef.
Nalaja Dickey. Let me see here. Who else I got to give a shout out to?
Got to give a shout out to the Dickey. You know what I'm saying? My
Yep.
guy Dickey is my guy.
Mabane, David Mabane. Yep.
David
So
Mabane is gonna
for
be.
sure.
Shout
So
out to the Mabane family too, man.
yeah.
His I want to say his son Chris Cook, former West High basketball player, who has the clothing line Be Great, dope clothing line. Shout out to Be Great. Shout out to them. But we got to bring on
we got to
our
bring him
stat
on.
guy.
So
We got
yeah,
to
we
bring
got to
on
bring
our
our
stat
stat guy
guy.
because realistically, we got a lot to talk about and cover, and he needs to chime in. I mean, like you said, get those names ready because I want you to formally introduce who the new baseball coach is and the new girls flag football coach. But let's bring him on. He is, in my opinion, father of the year. He does so much for his kids. He is our stats guy. He's a fellow 2003 West Rebel with a cause. The one,
Clap it
the
up.
only, the stats guy himself, Mr. Shane O'Mac. Shane
Clap
McGee,
it
what
up.
is up, man?
What's up? How are y'all doing?
Clap it up.
Everybody doing good?
We're doing great, man. Can you
Man,
feel
the
it?
one
The
and only.
scrimmage.
Scrimmage.
Scrimmage. The last
Scrimmage
day of
time.
July.
See,
The last day of July.
I get to live football every day. So
Yeah.
I'm already hyped because football season is here already.
Absolutely.
I'm 2 weeks deep in the, or 2 weeks deep in the pad, and the pads. We're hitting, we're installing. I'm already hyped.
You're already you geek for it, man. So, like, what is like your preparation time for as executing new plays or getting new information into the kids? Like, what is that like timetable look for you right now?
So, way my practice is right now is I've got offense Monday, defense Tuesday, offense Wednesday, defense Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
I will install anything new on Monday, run through it, then go both sets of plays that we run on Monday. Plus, throwing special teams here and there. Defense, it's just based off what I'm seeing on film. So I got added to the huddle account earlier this week, and I have been glued to it ever since. I've probably put in at least 6 hours of film study since I got access to it.
That's a ton of preparation that you got to go through to like make sure that your guys are in position to make those plays, man. Like I commend you. Like so, like how many hours like game film are you like processing right now? Just like practice film.
I went through 64 plays today. That took about 2 hours because I'll rewatch the play over and over. I'll see what the line's doing. I'll look at the linebackers. I'll look at the DBs and also look at what our offensive side did the year before. But okay, so I can point out, like, hey, watch this as he rolled. Like the safety, we're playing Gibbs Thursday first scrimmage. The safety will roll down when it looks like we're doing run. So what I would do would be I'm going to send my outside receiver, my X, probably send him on a go.
Oh, okay. He's going straight.
I'm going to have him do a go because I got a single high safety right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, and given the age of these kids, that corner is always going to peek in the backfield. So if I do a play action off of that kid's going to bite because that corner's going to be looking. Because he's playing outside shade, so he's already his stance. He's outside the edge of that shoulder. He's looking in at the quarterback and peeking. If I fake my run that way, I'll bite. My X is going to go. But I've only got a single high safety, so that safety is going to bite over on the deep route if he's smart. He plays what he's supposed to do. He's going to bite on it. He's going to chase that X. Then I'm going to do a scissor concept with my Y and my Z with a post from my Z hitting over there towards where the free safety should be because the linebacker is still going to be too far. He's going too far back. Outside receiver's there. My Y is going to get in a corner route, and either the corner's going to bite or roll with the Z, and that safety's going to over, or so it's all about based on what that safety is going to do. Right? That's stuff I noticed today that their safety roll down every time they load the box to try to stop the run. I'm going to exploit it. Yeah. And if he stays home, I'm just going to do something out into the flats with my tight end or my running back, depending on if I want to go single set or double set, and pick them apart.
Man, that's awesome, man. It's just cool to hear you talking about how you're manipulating the defense to read one thing, but it's another thing. Like this is just enjoyable to hear you talk about it, man.
Oh, yeah. And when you sit with him, two-pair, if we all can sit together on Friday when we're watching the scrimmage, he'll point things out to you of why that coverage got busted or why that guy was out of position, what that guy did wrong, and so forth. I mean, it was really eye-opening and really opened my mind to a lot of things that normally I may not look for, and now I will look for based on him and me sitting together at the Gibbs game, because you came late. You couldn't find a parking space with the baseball and softball games going on. Who thought of that?
Who
I mean,
does
good.
that? Like who does a
We're still mad about it.
a baseball game, and a scrimmage? I couldn't find parking for almost 25 minutes.
Hey, can I just say this just to add on to it? And listen, I know that it was just their turn to do it, whatever. But what was going on Sutherland Avenue? Crickets were being like, you just heard crickets chipping on Sutherland Avenue for one time only, or whatever. Nothing was going on.
It was nothing going on 3,300, man. It was nothing going on 3,300.
I still got script plays this week.
You know what? I wanted to mention this guy because we got to talk extensively Sunday, but you guys remember the quarterback of the state champion Austin East High School Roadrunners, Lee Curry?
Yes.
It was such a good. We had a good talk, man. I saw him Sunday, and just telling him how much I love the fact that Stanton Stevens is back at Austin East. Like it revitalizes what he was building, and I even said to Lee Curry, you guys grew up playing with each other, like that whole Roadrunner family, like the Javon Gibsons, the Anthony Andersons, the Anthony McAllisters, the Albert Harrises, the Stephen Bookers, you know what I'm saying, the Big Bo running the middle, the Corey Kennebrews, the Ed Marsh, Brian Blair, Lee Curry, Mark Andrews. That group played together. Like AJ Donaldson.
What they have for that program
is
amazing. Like a bunch of them have coached and have been groups I'm in, and the love they have for AE is just amazing.
Yeah, man.
Well, and I'm going to tell you this, back in the day, and I can't say...
We didn't even talk about the man-child Corey Anderson.
That's right.
Yeah. We didn't even talk about the man-child.
I think what makes me even... I haven't been to an Austin East game, I'm not going to lie, since West had them on the schedule, and West went over there to Austin East and won.
Yeah,
it was like 2011. I want to say 2011, 2012 maybe was that final year.
I want to say 12. It would have been either... I think 12 might have been
the last
we had
time.
A home and a home. Because we went to their place.
Yeah.
And it was not close.
No, we won big. We won big, yeah.
We won big there.
Yeah.
That was then, though.
And so the story. So realistically, that was my last time going to an Austin East game. No offense, because that's when West played them. But I remember back in the day, there was standing room only for those atmosphere, the games, that fried chicken and food like that they had at those games. There was a concession stand second to none. Like you don't get that stuff at like Anderson County or anything like that.
You ain't getting it. You ain't getting it. You are not getting it. No.
You do not find that food anywhere else.
No, you're not. And it's made with a lot of love. That's a secret ingredient. And the truth of it is that not only was it a party in the stands, you left with your belly full and you were satisfied watching AE, more times than not come away with that W than L, especially at home. I mean, not many teams went into there and won. So you see that it's better when these teams are better because it makes you better. And the same with Fulton. Fulton has been off for a while now and so forth. You know, and now they've got a young man that wants to bring them back. And that's the other thing.
And they got the right guy.
They do have the right guy. Yeah.
They got the right guy. And
I think that with Central too, with Kevin Lane.
I think Kevin Lane is the right guy at Central. And for what it's worth, I think Central's gonna give teams some problems this year. And
they looking like it.
I hate the way the schedule lines up with West and Central because it's between the Maryville game. And you know how I felt. I said to me, I feel like those are the two games that worry me the most on the schedule. Not necessarily saying we'd have trouble. It's just the way the games fall in line. When you look at it, September 13th and then September 20th, that stretch of days between that. Now, let's not forget, they do have to go to Farragut on the 6th.
Hmm.
You go to Farragut, then you go to Maryville.
Yeah.
So the two away games. Well, no, I'm sorry. Um, that's an away game in Farragut. You're playing back to back home games. So the Maryville Central games are at home. So
Hmm.
that gives you a little bit more. Uh, it gives you a little bit more satisfaction that you're playing at home, but you really want to be composed in those games because of the magnitude of those games and where they are and implications of, are we a state championship team again? It's those 2 weeks right there in Maryville and Central.
Yeah, and realistically, Central when they do, I mean, obviously we've got Jeff County this week, and I'm going to say something about that, and I want Shane's thoughts on something as well that him and I spoke about off camera prior to the show. But with Central, we beat them 53-0, and that was the Gunner Strong game. That
Mm,
was it was a very hard time, and shout out to Morgan Shaver and Scott Shavers. I know that no day since then has been easy for them. But truth be told, there was a lot of emotion, there was a lot of aggression, and unfortunately, Central just ran into a buzzsaw, no pun intended, and West just absolutely hammered them 53-0. And realistically, um, after that, I mean, if I was on that team from Central, I'd remember that. But West really did take out a lot of their guys. We played everybody, but everybody was just scoring and doing their thing, and really did everything they could to preserve one of those three shutouts from last year, and that was one of them. But so I could see Central definitely wanting that revenge, and with Coach Lane now in the fold and bringing a mental toughness and physicality to their brand of football, I have no doubt that they will definitely be back to the Central of old in no time, whether it's this year or in the future. That being said, I do want to talk about our opponent this week coming up at Jefferson County, 6 o'clock Friday night. We, the Rebels with a Cause crew, will hopefully maybe get to do a post show, maybe get some interviews like we did the last time, and go live from there, like we kind of talked about. The truth of it is, I'm going back to last year. And obviously, when you look at the trophies behind me, the 2022 team was dominant in every sense of the word, 15-0,
absolutely.
averaged 44 points a game, barely allowed, if I'm not mistaken, 11 to 12 points a game on defense, and
Mm,
were resting starters by the second quarter and the running clock and halftime. So they were as dominant and senior laden as they were. That
mm,
being said, they lost a lot of talent from that team. But I was one of the ones, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I looked at who we had coming back from that junior class that eventually became last year's seniors: the Ryan Scotts, the Anderson Smiths, the CJ Smiths, Marshawn Bowers, Six Horde. The list goes on and on. And I also knew that we'd have Hunter Dance back, and who didn't get to play because of injuries the year before. But I felt that we had a good enough nucleus that we could have at least defend our crown. I didn't say we'd go undefeated, but I thought that maybe we go, maybe 7-3 with that schedule, get really hot in the playoffs and win a state championship and go back to back. We did one better. We went 14-1 and won the back to back. But I'm
yeah.
going to tell you this, though. It was a team, like I have harped on in every show that I've said, that grew and got better week by week. They wanted to get better. They put the work
Yeah.
in to get better.
Yeah.
They had a
Yeah.
cause, and they
Yeah.
they did it. Okay.
Yeah. Talk
But it
about it,
was
Stallion.
not easy. It was not easy. And it started a year ago when Jefferson County came off the bus. And listen, this stallion right here walked in there cocky with his ring. And it's like, oh, can we get this one over so I can go to Shoney's after the game and get me something to eat, or Waffle House? No,
You was
no.
gonna hit up
Jeff,
Shoney's after Jeff
why
County?
not? Why not? But
Man,
but listen,
buffet? You
listen,
want a
listen.
buffet
I
after the
was I
loss to
was
Jeff
famished.
County?
I was famished, baby, and I wanted to
I hear
celebrate.
you.
I was famished. But let me tell you this: Old Jeff County, they were famished. They had something to talk about. And I'm going to tell you this: I was looking over at my buddy, Mr. Chris Smith, the stats man himself, for West officially for football, and I'm going to say this: we looked at each other and said, "Well, this is going to be a long year, and this ain't last year's team." But that's okay.
Mm,
They were a
mm,
different team. But
right.
Jefferson County, um, hit us in the mouth like nobody had hit us in the mouth. And I just remember something Coach Ellerby, shout out to Rod Ellerby, love that guy. Coach Ellerby
Rod
said to
Ellerby.
me,
Shout out to Coach Ellerby, baby.
shout out to Coach Ellerby. He's a fan of the show. He literally said to me, we needed this. He said, we needed this. And sure enough, in somehow, some fashion, a couple weeks later, they held on to, take out Bearden, and then that momentum game went from there. So there's a lot to be said about momentum. That being said, the scrimmage showed flashes of who could do something, who needed work, and so forth. My question to both of you, and Shane, you in particular, because you yourself are trying to line up scrimmages for your own team, what can we take away from this scrimmage if, let's say, the couple different scenarios happen? West is very dominant, because remember, Jefferson County is replacing a lot from a very good team last year, but so is West. Or does Jefferson County punk West again for the second straight year, or is it a dead even match, with two perennial playoff teams in their respective classifications? My question to you is, what are the takeaways from those different scenarios? And two pair definitely chime in. Go.
So
go ahead, Sean.
With the beginning of scrimmages starting, you're going to see who knows what starting this week. You're prepping. You're going through. It's like, hey, this is what they're going to do. You're looking at their defense. You're looking at their offense. You're going to do everything you can. But at the same time, you want to make sure your starters and your dedicated backups know what they're going to do right now. You want to make sure that everybody understands the playbook, and you're getting quality reps. It's probably going to be, I would say, this one. Everybody does it different. I've noticed a lot is going to the 10 offensive plays, 10 defensive plays, and you go back and forth just to see what you're good at, who's good at what, who's going to do what. The following one is going to be live game reps. What do you do? You're going to see your starters for probably a series or two, just to bring fine-tuned everything. You're ready for the jamboree and everything, but that's where your backups got to show that they're capable. That's going to let you know just how well your season's really going to go. Because we all know you're one injury away from losing a key player. It's the history of football. I know for me, I've got 3 scrimmages set up over the next 2 weeks just to make sure my guys are getting live game reps to understand the playbook, their assignment. Though I always worry, my biggest things are alignment and assignment. Can you line up right? Can you do your assignment? And that's what you're going to see this week going into everything is can they line up and they do what they're asked to do? Or if they can't, who can? Then the next one is going to be, all right, here we go. This is what Friday night feels like. Well, come on, let's go. At least that's how I approach it. That's what I've seen over the years of being the coaching game for 10 years. So.
What I look at how well we respond to what Spencer Riley is cooking up over there at Jefferson County. Like, because I know that offensive line is gonna be well oiled. Like, I already know that offensive line is gonna be in sync more than Justin Timberlake and JC Chazé.
And
like,
they blew us off the board they blew us off the field last year. I mean, they really did. So yeah.
Obviously you're gonna put some stuff on film. You're gonna kind of share it around a little bit. You don't always want to put everything out there that you're going to do.
A lot of stuff.
You might go real vanilla with it.
Real vanilla. I'd hope that they go real vanilla. I don't want us to give too many things, but also I want to see how well we are at audibly out of situations. Like, I want to see how well we are, because once we looked up against Gibbs, and I'm telling you that Axton kid is talking about is Axton is going to be one of the better quarterbacks we will hear about this year out at Gibbs. Like, he's a player. He's a player.
I'm looking at the stats from last year for both West and Jeff County.
Mm-hmm.
Our leaders across the board really weren't high numbers. So that shows that the whole team contributed in a bunch of different ways. But then you pull up Jefferson County, their leading receiver was a senior last year. He's gone.
He's gone.
Leading rusher, he's gone.
Gone.
Totals for touchdowns, gone. Tackles per game, gone. Sacks, interceptions. They're returning their quarterback. He was only a sophomore last year. Top receiver for touchdowns, he's gone. They did throw their running back out there as a receiver a little bit. He was tied with their senior. So they're losing a lot across the board. Looks like they got a linebacker that he'll be in his senior year. He caused 3 fumbles last year.
I know they got a big lineman that's being recruited by somebody that's supposed to be really good. So, and I don't know. I think he plays both sides of the ball. I think he plays.
I think West is set up better where we've lost key players, but we've got guys stepping up. The comparison between where we were and where they were are 2 separate ones.
Well, and you want to know something too. What was so interesting about last year's team, we grinded out. Yes, we had the 53-0 win against Central, but very rarely did we have games where we were winning by big margins like we were in 2022. So the experience level wasn't there. You have guys with the talent, but when it comes to big game reps, a lot of them are going to be going into that in this scrimmage. Even though it doesn't count, you're going to be seeing some kids that are really, this is now your team. There is no Ryan Scott. There is no CJ Smith in front of you anymore. This is your time. And so I'm excited to see where those kids are at this time to put their name out there. I'm
looking at the stats from last year for us. Ryan Scott led with 7 tackles per game. Jack Keith was right behind him with 6.5.
Yeah, and Jack Keith and Wyatt DeRoche are really going to continue this success. I mean, both those guys had over 100 tackles each. I mean, think about that from the defensive line position for DeRoche. I mean, he was just a straight up animal last year. He was, and I'm looking forward to that. And here's the other thing too. There's some kids on that defensive line. Shout out to Morgan Shaver. We said it to him in the spring game. We thought that the defensive line would be missing CJ and all the guys that graduated, Aiden Mohammed. But here's the thing, Joey Wilson. But the truth of the matter is, they don't rebuild that defensive line. They
do not.
They reload. And there's some guys out there like Nalaja Dickey, number 95. I'm looking forward to seeing what they bring on Friday when they play. On the offensive side of the ball, I think this offense has an opportunity to be way more dynamic and flashier than last year's was. You've got 5 to 7 guys you can play on the offensive line. You've got a plethora. I said it right that time too, Pierre. I have a plethora of receivers. Yeah, not a plethora. A plethora of receivers that can catch the ball. And on top of that, you've got a deep stable of running backs, and you have a young man that has an opportunity that hasn't played ball in a year with something to prove if he gets a handoff. The third-headed monster in that backfield that was not available in the spring in Keelan Rucker. So the thing is, you've got Keelan Rucker, you've got Tavion Ray, who I've nicknamed Thunder, and of course the Lightning himself, Messiah Wren. So I'm just saying you've got a 3-headed monster in that backfield. You got Parker Dubon at the quarterback spot. I mean, this has the opportunity to be a very, very dynamic offense. The question is, can they put up the points that 22 did, as well as the numbers in terms of that? Because with the defense being just slightly behind with the talent that you did lose, you are going to have to be in some dogfights where it may not be the defense that keeps you in the game, but you're going to need that offense to make points and score them at will and outscore these teams, and maybe even ball control. And on Friday, Shane, you talk about keeping it vanilla rather. If that offensive line can be dominant like it has, and they're just handing the ball off with maybe keeping the defense honest with an occasional play action.
What I want I want to see from spring practice to this first scrimmage is improvement in the secondary. I did not like what I saw in the secondary during the spring scrimmage.
You talked about that in Gibbs.
That middle was wide open all day. The linebackers were playing really close up. I mean, that's where you want to play them at. Well, about 4 yards off the ball from the line of scrimmage, but either the safeties just weren't understanding their assignment, but that middle of the field was open for a first down every time they threw it. It was there.
Mm-hmm.
Me as a coach, I'm throwing basically a tight end on a seam route or a comeback or an out right in there all day. Like it was, I'm picking you apart right there. I want to see improvement there Friday night.
Well, and that was your guy too, Pair, the quarterback you've been talking about. He was that quarterback for Gibbs, and he was finding it. But at the same time, Shane has a point. You're going to be facing quarterbacks like that week in and week out, especially at the 5A and when you get to the playoff time. So you've got to find that.
Axton is going to put people on notice. Axton, I want to say it's Wyatt Axton, or do we? Was it
I think it was. I think Axton was his last name. Yeah,
I know his last name is Axton. Great, comes from a great family. His dad is such a good guy. His mom is wonderful. Yep. They moved up here, and he's in the Corrington area. And I'm gonna say this: Gibbs, you got a really special quarterback. Like from what he was able to do, like he was really taking advantage of that middle. I got to give a quick shout out. He's a former. He's a West High graduate. Class of 04, my man Tony Taylor, Tony Touch. He's watching the show out there.
I love it.
You know, Tone Taylor, he's out there in Dallas, Fort Worth. Shout out to my man Tone Touch, a legend on the courts and on the football field.
That's awesome.
Another guy I got to give some love to, my man Larry Williford. We got to get you on the show.
Yeah.
We got to get Larry Williford on the show. Anthony Bennett,
AB, he's a fan of the show.
We're still waiting on you to get on the show. It's a lot of former players we want to get on this show. Shout out, happy birthday to Troy Mapp. Troy Mapp's birthday is just what I think I want to say today. Yeah, gotcha. Shout out to Troy Mapp.
Yeah. I want to give a shout out to my boy Mark Machado, turning 40 years old. So he's now part of the 40s Club. He's my best friend since I was 5 years old. We've been friends for 35 years. So and realistically, we're going to be him and I are going to be celebrating his birthday that weekend of August 15th. That's why I won't be able to go to the Jamboree. So I'm hoping one of you guys will be there to at least see how we do, if we even want to take that Jamboree seriously. Because he's actually watching right now. He said thanks. So shout out to Mark Machado there. But him and I are going to be having a good time. So one of you guys, if you do get to go to the Jamboree, we'll see how we do against Grace, just as we're getting ready for the Bearden Bulldogs a week away, man. I mean, we'll be less than a week away at that point once we get to that weekend that him and I are celebrating there in Greensboro. So
they're playing at Carnes, right?
Yeah, that Thursday night is going to be at Carnes. The Friday night is going to be over in I want to say, Gibbs. Ironically, Gibbs is going to host the Friday night plethora of games. So, speaking of scrimmage, plethora.
No matter what, I will be at the I will have practice or a game. So I should have practiced that night.
Yeah. Two-Pair, if you can make it out there, you're a trooper, man. Honestly, if you can make it out to that Thursday night there at Hardin Valley High School. I think it's at Hardin Valley. I don't think it's at Carnes. It's at Hardin Valley.
With that scrimmage?
Yeah.
Can we carpool?
Well, I'll be in North Carolina, so unfortunately, that's where I'll be celebrating. But you want to take a look at these scrimmages this week. I mean, so check this out. Friday night. I'm just going to read you some area teams that you'd have interest in that are scrimmaging. Carter at Hardin Valley, Southville at Carnes, Dobbins Bennett at Central, Cocke County comes over to scrimmage Austin East, Bearden at Catholic, Oak Ridge at Fulton. We've already mentioned West at Jefferson County. Clinton is scrimmaging at Grace. Sevier County is scrimmaging at Farragut. Anderson County's at Bradley Central. Going over to Cookeville. Gibbs is taking on William Blunt at William Blunt. And, man, you talk about this. This is why they're Alcoa. Alcoa is going down to Chattanooga to challenge Chattanooga McCallie, the defending private school champions. So, and that's going to be going on down there. So, yeah,
that will be a good one.
Oh, and last but not least, can't leave them out because they're they're going to be a team that I'm going to be keeping an eye on. Coach Cummings and his Lenore City Panthers travel to go play the Powell Panthers. So the Battle of the Panthers is also going to be Friday night at 6 o'clock. So a lot of big area schools going up against each other. A lot of matchups you'd like to see in the regular season. But hey, if you can scrimmage them, you can scrimmage them. So get it on.
I want to know the result of that Alcoa Macaulay game.
You know what? We will have the thoughts of that because there'll be somebody on Coach T that will run their mouth about it, honestly, like they always do. So, yeah, especially when it comes to Pistol Creek Alcoa. So, yeah, but we owe you one. We owe you one. Even though you got like the rich needed to get richer with Chondas Cherry. What's his name? Condis Cherry? Is that his name? Shane Cherry's little brother. What's his name?
Yeah, Condis.
And he's
over
now
there,
over there. Like the rich needed to get richer over there.
But you know what though? That was I think that was in order for him to get the looks that he needs in football and basketball,
they're more appealing.
It's more appealing because they are always competing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Jameer Dean.
They're always competing.
And Jameer Dean, who really came on the scene as a freshman in basketball, look for him to have a super sophomore year at Alcoa. I mean, that's the thing. Like Alcoa and Maryville, they're always going to be in the conversation, you know, and that's the thing with 5-Star Preps. I appreciate everything Jesse Smitty and his staff does over there at 5-Star Preps. Shout out to them and shout out to Toyloy Brown III over at Knoxville News Sentinel, giving a shout out to Wyatt DeRoche as a player to watch this year, and also having the Wes Bearden game as one of the top 10 games of the year to watch preseason and so forth.
Speaking of that game, I was looking online, 8 p.m. is what they're saying for kickoff.
Wow. So you know, I was funny that you mentioned that because I had seen 7 o'clock somewhere, but 8 o'clock makes sense. So does that mean that the Titans don't have a preseason game and they're going to be the night game that Saturday night? I guess.
I don't know.
That's a possibility.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, 8 o'clock at night, man. Primetime ABC, WATE.
It's really interesting.
That's exciting. I mean, a Wes Bearden game on Channel 6. 8 o'clock on a Saturday night. Are you kidding? Saturday Night Football. Where's Brent Musburger and Kirk Herbstreit to call the game, honestly, at this point.
Kids don't know how diabolical Brent Musburger was. When he see a fine chick in the stands, you would know about it.
It was the two glasses in the eyes. Look. Ladies and gentlemen, look at that lady right there. That is one.
That is one fine lady right there.
That is one fine lady right there. I don't know her name, but we'll find it out. So.
Study hall for her.
I'll be inviting her back to my hotel room later.
Hey, let me tell you something. Don't let them coats, those what were they, corduroy coats, like that were just like made him look like he was 90 years old or what have you, fool you. He was still one of those guys that still had his eye on the prize, so to speak.
Oh man,
so, yeah.
Definitely had his eye on the prize.
Yeah, for sure. Jeez. But I'll tell you this though, like I said, we were excited after the Gibbs game, and I think we were excited from a standpoint that we saw some young guys really take that next step. And now what you're going to see, who got bigger over the summer, who got faster over the summer, whose heart got bigger over the summer also, you know, who wants it more. And like, you know, Captain Jack said when you interviewed him after the scrimmage, you know, we have a great opportunity, but who's all in? And now we're going to get to see who's all in. And I hope we have a roster so that way we can give some names instead of number 78 or number 42 or, you know what I mean? That type of a thing. So, yeah. But that's the one thing I'm kind of looking forward to. So yeah, you know, moving on because we got so much still to cover in such little time. I wanted to talk about these two new coaches that just got hired at West. Want to give a shout out to them, guys. Do you have the names of the new baseball coach and the girls flag football coach respectively by any chance?
I want to say it was posted. We need to go on to the West page. I'm gonna look in our Rebels with a Cause because you had it in here.
I did, and I'm actually pulling up the West app, by the way. way, if you haven't done so already, if you want to keep up with all the West sports, download the West app. You can go on the Play Store as well as the Apple Store and download it. It's a free app, and you can keep up with all the sports, all the news, and even on the Fan Zone, you can even catch Rebels with a Cause. So absolutely.
So I want to say the flag football head coach is Larry. I don't want to pronounce his name wrong.
He looks Italian, and I can say that because I'm Italian. Steroni. I want to say
Steroni. You're going to
Why
call
not?
him Steroni?
Steroni. I like it. Larry, the Italian stallion Steroni, is the girls' flag football coach.
Man. Let's give him. He's the first ever West High, and he's the first ever West High flag football girls head coach. He's got 24 years of experience at various levels of flag football, as well as his involvement in the NFL punt, pass, and kick organization. So, he's been involved with West High Athletics as a member of the softball coaching staff, and he will serve as the first head coach in the newly sanctioned girls flag football. That is really cool. And I got to coach some of the flag football championships. And it was some great teams out of, I want to say, out of Jersey and in the metro Atlanta area as well. Like, there's some really good teams in this flag football, man. You really need to check it out. Like, there was some really interesting teams to watch, man. It was really cool.
Dude, we're going to try to get the greatest athletic director in the area, definitely off, maybe even the state of Tennessee at the high school level, Mr. Paul Romero, on next week, so he can talk about all the exciting sports and coaches he's brought and hired to this wonderful organization and school. But I'm curious of when they're going to play their games, and I'm going to tell you why. If this was available back when we played, I mean, it'd be criminal not to see Rachel Bast out there playing flag football and not, being goalie in soccer. You know what I mean, man. And everything.
Caitlin Cody.
That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, we mentioned Lindsey Price earlier.
Lindsey Stone.
Yeah, Lindsey Stone. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It would be fun. It would be fun.
Laura Stancher. Yes.
It'd be fun to see. I gotta give a big shout out. Like, I was going back to my yearbook, and man, Carrie Helms is one of the best ballers I've ever seen. Like, Carrie Helms was so good at basketball.
She was good. She was
so good. Like,
you know who
she's
I
one
think
of the best girl basketball players I've ever seen. Her, Amy Farina. Girls,
oh no, you'd have to have the Farina sisters on playing flag football. You'd even have to have Anna Baumgartner as well. She was a great volleyball player. So Anna Baumgartner,
great softball pitcher as well.
Yeah, married to Bill Kaiser, former football player. They got like 4 kids together.
Yeah, shout out to she's Baumgartner Kaiser now.
Yeah, Baumgartner Kaiser. So they're all rebels. They all had rebels. Like, it's like Michael Lynn and his wife too, Lindsay. Like they had 2 daughters and they were athletes from
brother
West.
John K, man, John Kaiser, class of 2002, man.
Yep.
That was one of my guys.
Yeah, for sure.
John Kaiser.
It's crazy, man. It really is nuts. But yeah, like, I was just thinking about girls that were at our school at our time of if they would have even considered it, but would it have interfered with the sports that they were really good at, that were trying to maybe play college ball at and things like that too. It's going to be interesting.
I would think that they'd probably play sometime in the spring.
That would make sense.
I would hope flag foot, because girls soccer is fall. Boys soccer is spring.
Yes. Yeah, so
because,
they wouldn't conflict.
Man, those girls soccer games used to be very cold.
Very cold. There's a lacrosse team, so they use the field.
The lacrosse team, yeah.
When do they play? Spring? Are they a spring sport? They're a spring sport, I thought.
That is a good question. I do not know. We need
Wasn't
to find
there a rugby team? Wasn't there a rugby team as well? Like, where do they play? Like, I mean, is it the intramural fields?
Do they still have the rugby teams?
They do. No, they did. Like there was girls rugby was pretty competitive too.
Because boys volleyball just got picked up. Boys volleyball now.
Now that is interesting right there, because there were some guys. Yeah, there were some guys.
Ted Maitland, who was class of 03. His son is on the volleyball team in West.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's I love the fact that there's conversation now about West High Rebel sports. Just getting the new coaches and a new baseball coach. I want to
Yeah,
say,
and I see it right here, and I'll talk about him real quick.
I was saying, are there any openings on the flag staff for the spring? I mean,
You know what? I think you might need to talk to Mr. Satoni right there, or what have you. So just to see what he has to say about it.
Coach,
But
if you're watching, I've got 10 years experience and I've coached girls in football.
Or Cerrone, yeah, Mr. Cerrone. So I'm sure he'd love the help. I mean, looking at the baseball coach, it looks like we hired him away from Clinton High School. His name is Rob Stacy. He had served as the head coach at Clinton High School from 2020 to 2024 and is currently a Region 2 co-director for the Tennessee Baseball Coaches Association. He has his bachelor's degree in communications from the University of Pikewell, as well as a master's in curriculum and instruction from King University before he began his educational career at Clinton High School. We're excited for Coach Stacy to guide the West High baseball program and look forward to his leadership for our student athletes. So I think it's a solid hire and definitely somebody with experience. It's not going to be on the job training. And here's the thing, there's a couple of kids for West in baseball that have played summer ball all year long and have done a very good job too, Perrin and Shane O'Mac. And realistically, I just think that no, we can't be Farragut, but can we be something that competes, that, gives Farragut a little bit run for the money as opposed to losing 23-4 or how we were losing this past year. We had too much talent to lose like that. You know what I mean? That's just one of my thoughts about baseball in the spring. And obviously they have a little bit of fall ball in the fall as well. So, yeah.
that's dope, man. Super dope.
Yeah.
I just love the fact that we're getting these coaches in now, and as much as I'm really excited about this basketball season, just looking at the schedule, I'm really excited about this football schedule because football comes right before basketball, and we are so many days away from August the 24th.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like,
it's right here. We're 25 days away. I mean,
25
so,
days away from like getting it. Now, do we know where the game officially will be?
it's Bearden. It's at Bearden. I did check.
So
it's
it
at
will
Bearden.
be at Bearden.
It will be at
Is it a
Bearden.
noon kickoff or is it
We believe now it's going to be 8:00 unless something changes with that on WAT.
Hey,
That's what we think.
you might want to get there at 6:30.
Well, and I was thinking about it. What we could do,
Be there for warm-ups.
what I think, what
Y'all
we
want to
could
do a pregame?
I think that we could even get away with a pregame very early in the day, just to really hype it up, go home, take a nap, and then go and watch the game and then do interviews after the game as opposed to a post show. So we could do a Saturday game day from
Saturday game day.
And I think we could set up where Shane wants to set up at, run the cords and have the stadium backdrop so many hours beforehand, because I don't think they'll be patrolling the parking lot that early if we do it like at noon or something like that.
Okay.
So many hours before. So
I got to find out what time my team plays that Saturday, so we can coordinate this because sixth grade plays on Saturday.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I think that, I think it also depends on the game. If it does happen to be another noon game, then that would definitely open up the possibility for a post game. I think if it's a night game, we should do a pregame. Or
I think
if it's a night game, we do the pregame early.
But not too early that it doesn't interfere with Shane's football.
Yeah.
So,
it's all about communicating and making sure that we get out the right message to each other on when the game is time, and
And listen, I would not be opposed if any West students just want to mosey on down there and stand behind us a little ways and have signs or whatever. I would not be opposed to that. I just would not,
Are we gonna call it West High Game Day?
West High Game Day by Rebels with a Cause or something. It would be amazing if we pulled that off. It would be. It would be. So it would be amazing. So
we need some theme music to start the show.
We've got to do old school. Dun 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 dun. The old school. I mean, they don't have the rights to it anymore. They got what is it? Georgia Florida line that does this. Who does that? Who is the guys?
To your city.
Yeah, to your city.
Oh,
Hey,
who was
can I tell you this real quick? Because we also do the nostalgia factor to this show. We've talked about Funscape and so many things of how great
Mm-hmm.
life was back in the day. But
Mm-hmm.
does anybody remember that 2002 2003 season of Game Day before they did settle on the Teo City? They actually had that one rapper guy, and it was like a song is like da 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 da. You can look it up on YouTube, and I
I
don't know who
remember it.
the
I
rapper
don't
was,
remember.
but that
Yeah,
was like the background noise, and then he would just like drop some like real fast.
bars. Was it
Yeah,
Flow Rider?
no, it
It
wasn't
was
Flow
Flow.
Rider. No,
It was
he was
Flow
a
Rider.
bigger white dude. He was like a bigger white dude that could rap. He was really he would talk fast and talk about the week and everything like that, and that would be the intro to the da da dun 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 dun. And yeah, I mean that's how it was. So, yeah.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
But anyway, I'm just saying, yeah, we need to have some theme music or something that would be an unbelievable opening there, and to go
Mhm.
live from Bearden, it would be such a dream come true to preview such a juggernaut matchup,
That would be dope, man.
so
I
many
think we would.
storylines, the rivalry, I mean, and even have like a couple of players. I would love to have somebody from Bearden even come on, like a Chris Ernst or someone like that,
How cool
or
would it be if he was at the game?
oh, I mean, he's in the area. He's still in the area.
He's
Just had a
still in the
kid with his
area.
wife. Yeah, he just had a kid not too long ago with his wife and so forth.
Oh man, congratulations,
Yeah,
man.
I mean, I'll tell you one thing. Roy Nico, his cousin, who played a year ahead of him, Vincent Nico's younger brother. He's a big time realtor in West Knoxville. I see his
Oh
name all the
yeah,
time. And so forth.
Nico,
Roy Nico, and his son.
Roy Nico. Okay,
Let me ask you this, Shane, because you were really
Roy Nico.
involved with
Okay.
Bearden.
Yeah.
The Nico kid that graduated a couple of years ago from Bearden, was that Vincent Nico's son? Yeah. And you see his dad has his picture
Wow.
on the wall. His dad was all everything in 95 for Bearden.
Yeah.
I'm not
Oh
lying to you.
wow.
He literally took that team on his back and took them to the semifinals. They lost to Murfreesboro Riverdale. Like they took
Murfreesboro, Riverdale. I
Yes.
remember
I mean,
them. Yeah.
Vincent Nico was a
Yeah.
stud. And he's also related to Chris Ernst. They're cousins.
So did West run into Harriman with Jermaine Copeland when they lost? Was that the year? Was that 94, 95? Was it the
Oh, you're talking
94
about Eric
team?
Westmoreland in Marion County when we lost in 94.
So that
Marion
was
County.
Eric. That
Eric
was Eric
Westmoreland's Marion
Westmoreland.
County.
So
Yeah.
hold on. Who? So we didn't play Harriman.
Mm-mm. I
We
don't think we
didn't
did.
play Harriman.
Harriman
Okay.
was a 5A school, I think.
Okay, they were
Maybe they were a
probably.
little. No, maybe they were. No,
Were they 2A?
3A? They may
I
have been
don't know.
3A,
I just
actually.
remember. I remember Jermaine Copeland winning state in basketball.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if he did in football, but they were really good.
They were good in football, though. They were.
Harriman was really
But
good.
the thing was,
man.
Kingston was really good back then, back in the day. Kingston used to be
Okay.
really good.
Yeah.
So Kingston was the power. I thought
Yeah.
Kingston was the power back then too.
Yeah. So, I mean, but I'm just saying, like, it would be cool to have a Bearden guy.
Yeah.
Funny enough story, Terry Maples, shout out to our quarterback, Terry Maples. He actually was doing a job, and I hope I'm not like telling any secrets, but it was a former Bearden quarterback that he was doing some construction at his house, a job. Andy Crook, class of 2002. And he asked me, he said,
2002.
but he told me that Andy Crook has a couple of kids and they have a lot of West stuff on their wall, which I find kind of funny that they didn't follow in their dad's footsteps to go play at Bearden. And maybe they're just zoned for West. And I don't know if they're freshmen on this year's team or not, but apparently he noticed a lot of West memorabilia at the house. So I thought that was kind of intriguing, that storyline. So yeah.
I always find it funny that there are Bearden guys who have West kids.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that moves so far over into West Knoxville now. Like
he's been saying it.
Like Drew Welch. I saw Drew and I'm like, man, I remember I went to Bearden Middle School with this dude and his kids are at West. I'm like, wow, man, that's like really cool. It's really awesome to see, man. A lot of Bearden guys, their kids go to West. That's pretty cool.
One last thing before we wrap up with the West Rebels news and move on to other sports like the Olympics and other things we kind of wanted to touch on. I want to give a shout out because here's the thing. Yes, football and basketball do drive this show, but we want everybody to know that we respect and we want to always shout out any of the athletes or even the academians at
Mhm.
West High School because they are
Mhm.
all rebels with their own cause. But I want to give a
Absolutely.
shout out to Nicholas Burke, who's entering his junior season, a West Rebel with a cause. He's ranked 3rd overall for the class of 2026 when it comes to the TN mile split preseason rankings. He's also 2nd in the in the 3A class 3A classification. So shout out to this young man, and I hope he has a stellar junior year to have that type of a preseason ranking. And I wish the cross country team a lot of success, both in the men's and women's division. Shout out to golf, shout out to girls soccer, shout out to volleyball, and definitely shout out, obviously, to our football guys and tennis as well. I believe. Well, actually, tennis is in the spring, if I'm not mistaken. It's
You
golf.
know how I feel about
So,
women's
yeah.
tennis. Shout out to Murray Van Vliet, Beth Bosworth, Jessica Smothers.
God, they were
Some of
bad.
the
They were so
oh man,
badass. They were rebels with a cause.
they kicked tail.
Yeah,
You
they
want to
did.
talk about tennis?
Yeah.
Tennis at what? Jessica Smothers.
Mhm. Dude,
Beth Bosworth, Mary Van Vliet.
let me just tell you this. If the Bearden boys tennis team was so badass back then, the West girls tennis team was badass back then.
Yeah,
So yes.
and then we gotta remember we had one of the badass dudes, Danny Norman. How good was Danny Norman?
Yeah, he
when
was
we were in school. Danny Norman was incredible. Shout out to Coach Norman. Shout out to, you know what I'm saying, my man Jake Brewer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And you know, with golf, you know, teeing off and everything, you know, you got to think about you know, Major Sharp and Stu Oaks. I mean, you got to think about those guys. So for sure. So, hey, what about Lauren Jaffers for the girls and so forth? LJ,
Maggie Cunningham,
Maggie. Yep. So absolutely. So I was just thinking about that. So, V Stokes. So yeah, for sure. Baby. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, they always had, like, you know, great golfers and so forth. And I don't think that that's changed. But I hope all of these athletes, both boys and girls, have a fantastic year and a healthy year in your respective sports and kill it, especially for you seniors. This is that last time. Make it count and leave your mark. Leave your mark and mic drop it. Honestly, simple as that. So, yeah. Moving on, guys. What do you want to talk about these Olympics that are going on? You want to talk a little basketball? Man. You want to talk a little U.S. gymnastics, swimming? What do you want to talk about?
Let's go a little bit with basketball.
Let's go with basketball. So USA basketball. Let's go here.
I see a lot of people are talking about Jason Tatum not playing and Halliburton not playing. Dude, we're very loaded. Mm-hmm. There are some games guys will have to sacrifice on not getting played because of the matchup.
I mean, can I just throw this out there? I had to do a double take when I saw who the staff is for USA basketball. Okay. Forget that it's just Steve Kerr. You have Eric Spoelstra on that staff. You have Mark Few on that staff. I mean, Tyrone Lue. I think they know what they're doing. You just stay and just watch TV and enjoy the games.
Stay in the car.
I mean, listen, if Steve Kerr, I mean, and then to hear that, like, oh, do Steve Kerr and Eric Spoelstra have a vendetta with Tatum because he's a Celtic? What are you talking about? If anything, Kerr could have been pissed at Kevin Durant and not played him or whatever. That makes no sense. That makes no sense to me.
But he played him.
Not Tatum.
Durant was hurt. But
stupid.
But this is the thing that I think people miss out on, fellas, is Jason Tatum played in the NBA Finals.
Preach.
You want him to have as much rest as possible.
You want to make it out for the playoffs.
Right.
I mean, he was playing a lot of minutes. A lot of these other guys were done, like Shane said. They were.
Like, dude, KD and them were done in May. They were done in May.
The Lakers were done in May. I mean, come on.
The Lakers were done in April.
March. Hey, some could say they peaked at that stupid preseason tournament thing that they hung the banner for. I mean, there could be that too. So, yeah.
I still personally like the Coach K, Coach USA teams.
Yeah. Oh, they were great.
He force them to put aside their egos
Mm-hmm.
and play international ball.
Yep.
And I love the way he coached that team.
Oh, he did great. And here's the thing. Not only did he get them to buy in, but he also surrounded himself with a staff of other coaches that were different from his styles to give them a style that fit everything. Mark D'Antoni was on that staff. Syracuse coach, Boeheim.
Jim Boeheim.
I mean, yeah, they
Boeheim.
were all on that staff to create, a team that was, phenomenal. So, yeah, I mean, but I don't know. I'm just, I'm very, I was proud of the team, and I thought what was such a badass moment was, I forget who it was, but Curry drains the three with no time left, and everybody's trying to go after the rebound, and somebody's just walking like he's going to make it. I know I don't have to worry. I forget who it was, but it was just nothing but the bottom of the net. So, yeah.
But the footwork of Anthony Edwards when he got the guy dancing.
Oh, yeah.
That was nasty.
That was.
Like,
it was.
But I will say this. You don't have to worry about the women's side.
56 in a row, I heard. Something ridiculous like that.
56 in a row. The last time women lost was 92.
Oh my
the last time they lost an Olympic play is 92.
Wow.
2.
Wow.
Like, you ain't got to worry about the women. But the thing about the men, like, I think France is going to be competitive, but France almost lost what?
Japan today.
Japan. Yeah, they went overtime.
You said there was a 5'4" guy on there, like they're Muggsy Bogues or something like that on Japan's team or something. So,
dude, Wemby was like 2 feet taller than the guy. It was ridiculous, man. You see it. He was like 5'8" or 5'4".
I just pulled up the women's basketball record: 72-3.
Oh my God! Who were the 3 losses to?
The WNBA.
Silver in 76. Hold on, it's not giving me all of it. Oh, they withdrew in 80.
Yeah, they withdrew in 80. Everybody they boycotted 80.
Yep.
Wow. I like I said.
There we go. Gold medals so far in the Olympics: 53, 57, 79, 86. Oh, this is gold in women's basketball period. My bad. Hold on. Let me go. Look. Here we go. Gold: 84, 88, 96, 2004, 8, 12, 16, 2020. So, yeah. This is going to get that one. God, that's just...
Yeah, you don't have to worry about the women, man. You don't worry about the women. Like, let me put this in perspective. They have Jackie Young, they have Brittany Griner, they have Asia Wilson, they have Collier, they have Jewel Lloyd, they have Taurasi,
the ageless Diana Taurasi.
They have, yes, like, dude, they have Kelsey Plum. Chelsea Gray. They are loaded. When you look at their bench, you can intermingle Brittany Griner with Asia Wilson, Collier, or you could even mix it up and say, hey, I want Jewel Lloyd.
Or Breonna Stewart. Or
I want Breonna Stewart.
Oh, man, sick.
I want Ionescu. They got Sabrina Ionescu dropping bombs deep. And they moved the ball. That's one thing I will say. The thing that they had trouble with Japan with was the outside shooting. Because Japan, they couldn't rebound. They
don't have the height.
They don't have the height. Mm-hmm. Like, you mean to tell me you can defend?
It's like a middle school rec team walking up against a full-on high school team.
Let me tell you something. From the highlights, it looked like it. It really did. I hate to be mean like that, but it really did. So it was kind of like that with the French game today with UC Wembayama, who's ginormous or whatever, and a lot of those French guys. And it's like the Japanese guys held their own, though. I mean, if it wasn't for that lucky shot, Japan wins that game, right? I mean, it took a prayer. It bounced in. He got fouled. He made the free throw. Look at all what had to happen to even get to overtime in that game. I mean, goodness gracious. So, yeah, I mean.
Yeah, man.
Oh.
I will say Chelsea Gray putting up 13 assists yesterday was probably some of the best stuff I've ever seen. And then KD just letting everybody know he's Kevin Durant.
And
Like
LeBron. I mean, LeBron was doing
LeBron,
his thing too. I mean,
LeBron is still the best player in the world. Like
mhm.
we just got to come to realization. Like at this level, like it's very hard to stay at the top to be that like 20 plus years of. And then there's some Olympics he didn't play in.
No, no. And you know, the other thing too is like, listen, I think everybody's entitled to their opinion. Big O is like LeBron's biggest fan. Ha ha ha
Oh,
ha.
I
But
love it. I
he's like,
love it because
yeah,
I'm a Jordan guy.
yeah. I know, and you should be. You should be like Larry Frank. If
I'm a
he was
Jordan
on
guy.
here tonight, he's all North Carolina and Michael Jordan. Here's the
Yeah.
thing about LeBron. Here's the thing about LeBron. I think that it was he's done. I'm I'm privileged that I got to grow up in this era to watch him from start to finish.
Hmm.
Like for example, Shane, your son is the age that we were when Jordan was kind of on the tail end
Mm,
of being out.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so we can go back and watch the highlights and we
But
watched
we
some of the
live
games
Jordan.
live
yeah,
and we did live Jordan.
We
We lived
live
Jordan in the
Jordan.
90s,
We
but we
live.
didn't get to really appreciate Jordan in the 80s. We were still in,
yeah.
diapers
Where
sucking our thumbs.
my son's at right now would be the start of the second three-peat.
That's what I'm saying.
N-
That's what I'm saying, right?
90s Jordan okay, because I'm a Jordan guy.
Yeah.
90s Jordan makes you think that he didn't have trouble in the 80s. If
Mm,
you're a Jordan guy,
Jordan
because
carried teams in the 80s.
mhm.
because we don't go 6-15. We go 6-0 because we only say, well, in the finals he never lost. That's true,
Mhm. Yeah.
but there was some times Mike was sent packing, but
Mhm.
it was
And
sometimes,
There was 7 years
but
of
it
no
wasn't
final with Jordan.
in our like our visibility of watching the game of basketball. It didn't happen in the 90s because that's when we were really keying in. In the 80s, we're pretty like 4 years old. You don't really
Yeah,
know what's going on.
well, and the other thing too is in the 80s you had three dynasties all happening
Yeah.
simultaneously with some of the greatest rivalries and contrast in styles and coaches with the Celtics, the Lakers, and the Bad Boy Pistons, and there you had Michael and his Bulls just always on the cusp. The bridesmaid, never the bride, but damn, did they make a fine bride in the 90s. And realistically, here's the thing. I think that I I always love that what if game. If two teams from different eras got to play and everything like that. But I think that what we were robbed of is if Jordan's father is never killed and he doesn't leave the sport, I would have loved to have seen those Rocket teams against the Bulls because I think that would have been the finals matchups respectively in 94
Yeah.
and 95.
I think if Jordan had came back earlier in '95
They'd
and
probably get there instead of the Magic.
doesn't get eliminated by the Magic,
Hmm.
we would there have been 4 people.
Yeah.
Well, here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say.
Rockets team was good though. Yeah,
That
they were.
Rockets team is good, and Kenny Smith had a great point. I want to say it was on All the Smoke. Shout out to Matt Bourne. Shout out to Stack. I love y'all show, man. It's incredible. He had a great point in saying that the Bulls didn't have the size at the time
They
when
didn't.
the Rockets go on their run, and you switch out Mike for Pete Myers, but you still have Horace. But when Chicago saw Houston in the regular season, Houston won majority of the time.
Hmm.
So it's hard to say Mike winning 8 because being a Jordan guy, I'm thinking, yeah, Mike wins. No, it really, when you're a realistic person about your favorite player of all time, you got to put in the notion of they had Otis Thorpe, they had Robert Ory, they had
Sam
Akeem
Cassell.
Olajuwon, Sam Cassell, Kenny
Yep.
Smith, Mario Ellie, Matt Bullard, Carl Herrera. I mean,
And they were coached by a phenomenal coach in Rudy Tomjanovich. I mean, they really were. So, yeah. I mean, yeah. I will say this. I'll say this about the. Do you know what I think is so interesting about those Bulls teams back then?
hmm,
You're right when you mention something. They had a big man that was serviceable. Case in point, with the first three-peat, it was Bill Cartwright.
Cartwright.
But in the second three-peat, it was like three guys: Will Perdue, Luke Longley, and Bill Wennington. And here's the
Yeah,
thing: but the best rebounder was Dennis Rodman,
Dennis
who really
Rodman.
wasn't even your five. He wasn't. So, but you think about the other teams of that era. You had the Knicks with Patrick Ewing. You had the Spurs with David Robinson. You had Olajuwon with the Rockets. You had Shaq with the Magic. I mean, for whatever reason, those teams stood out because of they were led by a big man. You don't see that these days now. You see more of it being a small forward or a power forward, or maybe even a point guard leading your team now, and so forth, more than anything. So, but those big men always got a lot of credit back in that era in the 90s, in my opinion.
It was the big man with a good shooting guard back then.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. So, yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'll tell you this. Who's the next game they play? Is it tomorrow, two pair, by any chance? The USA basketball. When do they play again?
That is a great question. We need
Because they
to.
played Sunday. I watched it Sunday morning. Today was Tuesday, so if they're doing every couple of days, and I know they got to play South Sudanese. And let me just tell you this: shout out to those guys, and shout
Shout
out to
out to them
Luol
dudes.
Deng who for coaching them. I mean, they look
Shout
great.
out to
So
Luau
yeah.
Dang, man. I love Luau Dang, man. Like,
I love my boy Mark. He actually just referred to a Beavis and Butthead reference. Is that Manute Bol? Like the Manute
yeah,
Bol.
Manute Bowl.
God, I
Is
love you,
that a
bro. I
Manute
love you. So,
Bowl?
yeah, because can I set it up? Can I
The 31st, 3:00, South Sudan.
South Sudan? Okay, and it's in the afternoon tomorrow, 3 in the afternoon. So that would be 9 o'clock Paris time, if I'm not mistaken. So because we're 6 hours apart.
Hey, man, I'm enjoying
I
the
am.
Olympics
Uh,
though. Shout
and you
out
know
to
what?
Simone Biles, man.
Yeah, let's
Again,
talk about that real quick. I actually want to give
again.
a shout out to the men's team for USA Gymnastics, medaling for the first time since 2008. And if anybody's not seen Frederick, the gymnast or what have you, just a bolt of lightning, a future star on the men's side. And what a team to watch. And I was so proud of them to get that bronze medal. China and Japan are the best in the world when it comes to men's gymnastics, but shout out to America for getting on the podium and a solid bronze performance. And look for them in the LA games in 08 or 28 rather, to be the team to beat, because they were the youngest male gymnastics team that was competing at 20, just slightly under 22 years of age as the average. So they're going to have to replace their older gymnast, Brody. But if they can find a fifth guy to go with this group of dudes that they have right now, they could potentially win the first gold medal for the U.S. men, just and be dominant, just like the women are. But yeah, Simone Biles and the girls tonight, they beat everybody else by 5 points or more. I mean, that's just like winning like by 50-0 or whatever. I mean, they were so dominant. And then the fifth girl on the team, they didn't even have her. They just had her on there. Like, she didn't even compete in any of the 3 spots for the all around or the team competition tonight. They killed them. They did. So yeah, I mean,
Simone Biles again, man.
Simone Biles, man.
Simone
Simone
Biles.
Biles. Yeah.
Like, we've been saying that name a lot in the Olympics. Like, I feel we've been saying Simone Biles' name for a long time in the Olympics.
Yeah, and she ain't done yet. I mean, here's the thing. She's got 3 events and the all-around still this week coming up. So there's a potential there for her to win 5 gold medals, potentially. And then you've got the defending gold champion in Suni Lee also
Suni
competing in the
Lee.
all-around. So, I mean,
Suni Lee.
Suni Lee. So,
Suni
yeah, Suni
Lee.
Lee. So,
Suni Lee.
yeah. Suni Lee. So
That's it. Suni.
yeah, for
Suni
sure,
Lee.
for
Like,
sure. I
for
love it.
man.
Oh,
Dude.
no.
Oh, USA Gymnastics.
Yep, USA Gymnastics. But shout out
Shout
to
out to
them getting a
USA
gold and
Gym.
back where they
Yeah.
belong. Back where they
Clap it
belong.
up for
So
USA
yeah, man.
Gymnastics, man.
Yep. So, yeah.
Clap it up for USA Gymnastics.
I wanted to also talk another sport too. When we were talking about the Olympics in general. So me and Shane were talking before you got on to pair. We were
Mm.
talking about swimming. Okay, and here's the deal. So I remember
Olympic swimming.
Olympic swimming. The 2012 and even the 2016 games, America was so dominant with so many gold medals. But something has changed in the last 8 years, and Australia has become a nemesis. I mean, absolutely just dominating, at least on the women's side, I feel. And realistically, USA has held their own in the medal count. But right now, when it's counted in the big time events, they have way more golds than the US, and it's really on the women's side. And so right now, Australia is just absolutely dominating. And I really thought that the US women were going to really bring it this time around, where I felt that they got punked in Tokyo. And you didn't have fans, it was a weird Olympics, but
That
this
was a
Olympics,
very weird
it was a
Olympics.
strange Olympics. And realistically, I just feel that this one, I know there's still a lot of events left. The pool officially closes on Saturday, and then they switch over to the track and field, which I know my guy Shane's excited about. But realistically, it just I'm happy for the guys. The guy swimmers have really brought it and winning medals, and they've done it as a team. But they're not the dominant power they once were, and I don't know what needs to be done to get up to that level. But there's something in the water in Australia, and here's the thing: you're going to be the host in 4 years. What are you going to bring in those 28 Olympics here on American soil? Just saying. So yeah.
Man, yeah, whew, man, you said it. I can't even. Yeah.
I mean,
Ain't even,
I just am
ain't nothing else
enjoying
to
it.
say.
Yeah, I'm just enjoying. Hey, what about? Wait a minute. Now here's a sport that we still are doing pretty good in: beach volleyball. Beach volleyball.
Hey, hey, what's it? Was it? Is it Nat? Is it Nas and Cloth? Close?
Cloth? Yeah.
Is it Close? Nas and Close?
Wait a
I
minute.
can't. I
Cheng,
want to say
Cheng, the redhead?
no, no, no,
No.
no, no, no. For us,
Yeah, yeah. No,
is it not?
there's two teams. There's two American
There's two
teams.
teams.
Yes. So Cheng and then the other blonde are like the good, but the second team is who you're talking about. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up.
Yes,
Wait, I'm gonna look it
yes.
up.
I feel like they can. I feel like they can win gold. I
They've
feel like
they've
they
already
can.
won gold in my heart, honestly.
Oh man, they won gold twice.
I'm looking it up right now.
Beach, indoor, whatever volleyball. Like
Beach
man,
volleyball America
they.
team.
When I tell you, they played the net so well. Like their timing, and their rhythm. I'm real. I've been
Oh
watching
yeah,
this.
yeah. Taryn Cloth and Kristen Nuss.
Nuts. It's
Yes.
nuts.
Nuss,
Yes,
yes.
Kristen Nuts. This girl gets up. Oh my god! Like she's typically a short volleyball player though.
She is. She
She's
is. Yeah.
but she gets up.
She's kind of like the Misty May trainer to Carrie Walsh. Misty May was always the shorter one, but Carrie Walsh was the tall one that would stand by
Yes,
the net. So you have
yes.
that good dynamic sometimes there. So, but yeah, yeah, for sure. So I mean,
I
I'm
wish we
trying to.
had I wish we had Gabrielle Reese, man.
Mm,
Mm, mm.
I'm trying to see who the other team though. They're doing pretty good too. Beach volleyball American women team. Let's see here. Oh, and you know what? The men got beat today. Chase Budinger, former NBA player, was trying out for men's beach volleyball. They got beat by the.
Oh man,
I think
not Chase.
yeah, Slovenia beat them or something
I
in that.
love
But
Chase Budinger.
the other team, who's
That's my
the more
guy though.
dominant team, they won. So
Hey, Chase Budinger got some bunnies though.
yeah,
He
yeah.
can get up. Chase Budinger used to get up at Arizona.
I do want
Man,
to say this.
they used to get up. And Houston. Yeah, he played in
I
Houston.
don't know. I don't know when they'll play, but they're kind of on a collision course. I'm looking forward to that U.S. Spain matchup in beach women's volleyball between Nuss and Cloth and Fernandez and Soria. Look them up if you get a chance. You won't be disappointed. So
I never was, but
yeah,
I liked Australia though.
yeah. Oh,
I ain't go
Australia,
I
yes.
ain't gonna lie. Australia, I like, man, I won't see y'all one more game, but not to give my girl Nuss and Clout now.
I know Artosha and Delasar, and then you have Hughes and Cheng are the other two American girls that are doing pretty well in their respective.
Hey, what if it is an America
It's happened
finals?
before. It's happened before where we took gold and silver in that event. It was Misty May and Carrie Walsh's last one that they won gold, and they had to beat the
Uh,
American team B team that got silver. So it's happened before. I mean, it
it
really has.
okay, that's what I thought
Yeah.
it happened
It's
before.
but it was I think it was either the London Olympics or the China Olympics when it happened, the Beijing in 2008. It's been a minute, so yeah, yeah. Let me ask you guys this. Switching gears a little bit. Did we want to do our SummerSlam predictions by any chance with the card, or was there another sport you guys wanted to bring up and talk about Olympics wise, or anything else sports wise at the moment?
Um, uh, how do y'all feel like we doing in soccer? I think we won a game.
Well, the men's team, yeah, the men's and Dennis Rodman's daughter's amazing, by the way.
She
Like,
is
if you've
amazing.
seen her, man, she is a chip right off her
Was
dad's
that
block.
against Germany?
Yeah,
Germany,
they
she
beat
went
the
crazy.
crap out of them 4-1 or
4-1.
something. I mean, and the guys advanced to the medal stage. Well, like the knockout rounds for the first time in years. Like the men's team has
Mm.
been absolutely horrible until this go around. So
Yeah, I
that
know. It's
nice to
wild.
see. The rugby finish. Did you guys see that? The rugby finish with the American girls. They were down 12 to like 7 or something like that with no time left. And this girl just broke a tackle and ran and scored a touchdown in rugby, and they upset Australia. Australia's thinking we've got the bronze, and they were on the field crying because this American girl would not be denied
Oh
and ran the
man.
whole length of the field. YouTube it.
I gotta
It is
watch it. I gotta watch
unbelievable.
it.
It's
I'm
unbelievable.
gonna pull it
YouTube
up.
it.
I'm gonna
So
pull it up.
yeah, you'll find it. No, you will really find it. So yeah, it's incredible. So yeah. Yeah. Oh, you want to know something? Just a lesser sport that I actually like and follow a little bit, fencing. The American women took gold and silver in that one. It was an American final, and
Yeah, yeah.
one girl
I
beat
saw
the other
that.
girl in a really competitive match. So yeah, yeah. So it's pretty
Fencing.
cool.
Dang, all these is like rugby. Wow, this is crazy. Uh, this is a wild thing to look at everything on this sports app, y'all.
Oh yeah.
Like rugby.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah,
It was absolutely crazy.
rugby 7.
Yeah, they were playing. I think it was Australia they were playing today. And like I said, Australia, all they had to do was tackle her, and the game was over, and she wouldn't be denied. And then they kicked the extra point, which is 2 points, and they ended up winning 14-12 and got the bronze. So in women's rugby.
Mm. Dang. Japan. Let's see what they got in here. Wow. Water polo, triathlon, tennis, table tennis, swimming, surfing,
Oh, Shane,
sailing.
what did you think about that? Did you hear that they've had to delay the triathlon for the third straight day because the water's not safe to swim in, and they've put $1.5 billion into making sure that this water was safe for this event. It rains Friday and Saturday during the opening ceremonies and the first day respectively, and now it's contaminated the water again, from what I understand. I have no words.
God.
So these poor people may not even compete. I mean, so
I don't even know how you fix that. I mean, you couldn't do it in the Tennessee River either. So.
that's true also. So yeah.
Wow.
Well, you know what? They better find a good place in California, for God's sakes, in 4 years for Los Angeles. I mean, yikes. So might have to go to Colorado and swim there.
They'll do something similar like they did in '96, like how they
It's exactly what it is. So shoot.
Where Flavor Flav is like the ambassador for the water polo team.
Oh my gosh.
He paid for all of their stuff.
Flavor Flav.
Dang, Flavor
Flav.
And Snoop being a torchbearer.
He got to be a torchbearer too. I mean,
Snoop did.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
Flavor.
Wow.
Snoop was a torchbearer.
Snoop. Yeah.
Snoop. How about Snoop being a torchbearer? How cool is Snoop? Has lived like 8 different lives, man.
He really has. He really has. I mean, so yeah. I mean, him and Michael Phelps were in the pool swimming together for something tonight on Primetime Olympics or whatever. I mean, it's crazy. It really is. So yeah. You know, another sport that I found interesting that I was watching. We have two pair. Me and Shane were talking about it earlier. What about the diving? The synchronized diving.
Man, the synchronized diving.
Some after dark stuff right there. I'm telling you. So yeah.
You don't tell them about that.
Mark wanted to contribute. Apparently, they're doing breakdancing at the Olympics this year. Yeah, apparently, if you win a gold medal, you go to the square, wherever that's at by the Eiffel Tower, and you can have a party dancing while you show off your gold medal, and the cameras are on you, and confetti and streamers and everything. They've never done it before, but it's like they're making a music video over there.
Oh my God, that's pretty dope.
It's 3-on-3 basketball team doing them.
Yeah, so they got their ass kicked or whatever. What happened here? They got their ass whipped. What happened?
How you gonna lose at 21?
I got their ass whipped.
We literally grew up playing this year. Like what?
Hey, can we just say this?
Come on,
they stink.
Jimmy Fredette, come on, bro. Hold on. Not just that, but the females lost too. The women lost too.
How did that happen? Who was on their team?
Bro, we got hoopers. You know what? This is what I'm gonna say. Sierra Burdick, she's about to go off because she's listening to what everybody is saying, and you know what? This is gonna fuel her. Yeah. So here's what we're gonna say. Yeah, you guys played bad. It was stinky. But here's what's gonna come next. Sierra Burdick is gonna go off because we made this on the podcast. Like it's gonna fuel her because it's like she played under Pat.
She did. Hey, if Rebels with a Cause can light a fire under someone's ass, then let it be. Blessed be. You know so as long as it's our team, as long as it was one of our people. So
like she was recruited by Pat. You know what I'm saying? So
I just don't get how we lose at 3-on-3.
Yeah.
And they only play for 10 minutes. Like it's either score 21 points or whoever's in the lead after 10 minutes.
Oh, no, that's lame. All right, now come on. I mean, you have to get to 21, right? I mean,
I played over games over the YMCA blacktop.
Oh, you got to be kidding me! So, my gosh, yeah. Oh, what about real quick? It wasn't American or whatever, but I found it funny. There were I think 9 either archery or shooting events, and the Korean team won all gold medals in all 9 events. Did anybody else compete? I mean, they got like 9 gold medals all in all the or whatever like that had to do with shooting like / archery or whatever. So I was like, are you kidding me? So yeah, but we had an American gal about 8 years ago that was like this really good shooter, and she'd always compete. She wouldn't get it, but she at least medaled for America, and I guess she just got older. You remember her? She was pretty
I forget her name. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I can still see her.
All the stands you had to shoot with and everything. I'm like, I could hit the target with that shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, with all these guys that are such gun gurus, you mean to tell me you can't find one guy to go show out for the U.S. of A. With all the people that love guns and everything like that? So
when I was in boot camp, they were telling us this: it is easier to teach a woman how to shoot properly the first time than it is to teach a guy.
Wow.
Basically, my whole company was from the South, pretty much. They call it Kentucky windage, Tennessee windage, whatever you want to call it. How we adjust compared to here's the basic fundamentals of how to shoot, and the girls would outshoot the guys like 90% of the time.
Interesting.
But all the stuff that they give them to shoot with, I'm like, dude, I could do that standing with nothing else, like just me.
Just switching gears real quick. I do want to get into Summerslam. I always like to talk about some nostalgic stuff that happened in our past. There were. I'll tell you this, Shane. People were kind of asking me and said, "So tell us more about this Funscape dance thing that happened or whatever like that." And I said, well, you know what? I'm just going to ask the guys like their memories of Funscape because, people walk into the Cinnabar and they're like, I don't see it. How was it laid out? And I said, well, the premise is still there, but they really opened up that area because do y'all remember that fountain that used to be in the middle and then but it never worked? I think maybe it worked for 1 week and then they just shut it off. I mean, I was just like, excuse me, it was hard to describe to people how the dance thing was laid out based on how Cinnabar's laid out now compared to then and so forth. So but people wanted us to share stories of Funscape when it was Funscape before they closed it. So
walking into that 3-level ball pit room, for people who don't know what we're talking about. All the balls are gone wherever they put them, and you just look up. And the views.
Yeah, because back then you could walk like there was a second level. There was a true second level. There were 3 levels. That's right. 3 levels.
3 levels.
Yeah. I mean, I just still do not understand, gentlemen, how that failed. I just don't know how it failed. I think Regal gave up too soon. I don't know. I don't know. So yeah. Maybe made it too expensive. I don't know. I
don't remember how much it cost us to get in or any of that, but God.
I remember that you could have that armband and do all the different things or whatever like that. But and then the arcade machines were like whatever it was to play arcade games or whatever.
Yeah, and then like all there, so you had the skee ball, you had that dance.
Hey, man. Time Cop, man.
Time Cop, yep. So yes.
Hey, I want to get one of them for my house, man. I really do, man. I want to get that Time Cop game. Just
hey, guys, what about this one? The line for the DDR machine.
Oh my God!
The line for the DDR machine.
That was where
that's an eyebrow right there, man. So.
I never got into that, and
I watched it. I didn't do it.
I
watched it. So yeah. So.
It might have made my feet quicker if I think about it now, but I'm sitting there like, why? Like I'm watching some big dudes. Like,
yeah,
your feet can move that fast. Shit.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying. Yeah. The old DDR machine. So, yeah. Oh, and does everybody remember that they had like a mini food court up there too? There was a Taco Bell and a Dairy Queen, and that flopped. There was a little Pizza Hut up there too, if I'm not mistaken. So,
you had the Taco Bell in the food court. You had Taco Bell. There's
Yeah, it made no sense. It made no sense. Like they
And
were
you
competing against each
had
other.
the pizza up there, but you had Sbarro's down there, and Sbarro's was a staple in West Town Mall.
Yeah.
Sbarro's was a staple.
Sbarro is an OG, isn't it? Is it the last of the
It's the
OGs there?
last
I mean, it is. So
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
the last of the
Yeah.
OGs still there. It's still there.
Yeah.
yeah, it's still there. Oh yeah, Sbarro right there.
Is Chick-fil-A still there?
Chick-fil-A is still there. Yeah.
McDonald's used to be all of that real estate where Chick-fil-A is.
It was,
Oh
and then
my
they're done. They're done.
Yeah.
Do y'all remember? Does anybody remember Frankenstein?
Yeah.
You could actually drink a beer and have hot dog, and they had the best cheese sticks ever. They had the best cheese sticks
man.
ever.
That was the spot. That
Yeah.
Ruby Tuesday was still in the mall.
Oh my God! And that's where Cheesecake Factory is now, kind of over in that area. And then they
Yeah,
made it that
right.
Sonoma stores in there
Yeah.
too. So yeah. Golly.
Yeah.
Panda Express was there before it became Asian Chow. Like
Yeah.
Panda
yeah.
Express with the orange chicken. So
Panda
Sakia
Express.
Sakia's been there forever. That Japanese place.
Sardu?
That's an OG. That's an OG
Charlie's
place.
Bakery has been there forever.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has.
I like the way it used to be like 12 to 15 years ago compared to the way it is now.
Oh yeah.
Like
That food court. Have you been to that food court? It is altogether different. They've got a bunch of TVs and they've got a bar in the middle of it.
Yep.
It seems like I mean, it's not like, again, for whatever reason, the West Town Mall was obsessed with fountains that didn't work. For whatever reason, they always put a fountain in the middle of it, and they're all gone. There's not even one trace of water or some source at the mall. I mean, it's unbelievable. So yeah.
Yeah, now if I'm in there, it's literally like, okay, what do we have to get from here, and I'm out.
Mark, that is a great point. Grandma's Boy, that movie had one of the best DDR scenes ever. Yes, it did. That movie in general, I pee myself laughing, honestly. Grandma's
Great
Boy.
movie.
Great movie. So, with Adam Sandler's buddies, like his like a center stage, that's what it seemed like. It was Adam Sandler's lackeys having their heyday, and they deserved it. So
I love it, man. That's one thing I like about Adam Sandler movies is he does that on his show, man. Like he really shows his guys like, hey man, I really appreciate y'all.
Exactly.
Hey, this movie's gonna flop in the theater, but wait for the DVD release.
Yeah, I don't know what he's been doing. He's been taking more serious roles or whatever like that, and it's like, stick with what works, man. So.
But Happy Gilmore 2 is on the way.
I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait. So yeah, I cannot wait. Let me switch gears from the Olympics. How about some SummerSlam predictions, man? What do we think is going to happen at SummerSlam on Saturday on Peacock? What are we thinking, man? So, yeah. Shane, why don't we give us the matches? And here's the thing. We'll keep up with who was right and who wasn't, and we'll see what happens. Anybody in the chat box, you can play, too, of who you think's going to win. So, yeah.
Yeah, I got to hear this.
We got 3.
Yes, Mark, there is going to be another Happy Gilmore. Yes, it's in the works right now. So, yeah, for sure. So, yeah. Larry Frank joining the show late. The tribal
Shout
chief
out to
returns.
my
buddy, my brother. So, yes, the king talker of trash. If I think that I can talk some trash, he just looks at people and it's like, what the hell are you looking at, man?
He's definitely earned. He's
a dude.
He's a dude. He's a funny dude. He's a very funny dude.
I like that prediction, Larry. Keep that up. Dom screws Rhea or whatever like that in more ways than one. So, yes. Yeah, we did talk about that. So.
All right, so for the Intercontinental Championship, we got Sami Zayn, Braun Breaker, and I can't pronounce this dude's name, Dragunov.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to go. All right, here's the thing. I would love to see Braun Breaker win it, but I don't think it's his time yet. And I think they keep it on Sami Zayn just a tad longer. So I'm going to go Sami Zayn on that one. So yeah.
I like Sami Zayn being champion right now because the story is really good. It's like where they would take it. You put the belt on Braun that quick out of NXT. Nah. You gotta 2 more pay-per-views. I think you let Sami Zayn at least 200 days. Let's see. Can Sami Zayn be champion for 200 days?
For 200 days. Okay.
So
Larry's going to
where's
go
he
with
at
the
right
upset.
now? He's not at like 100 right now because it's WrestleMania.
It's been 3 months, so it might be 100. It might be 100.
It'd be close. He'd be close to 100.
I love Mark right here. Jim Ross finally makes Vince kiss his ass. I love that.
Really?
That would be great. That would be amazing.
Kiss my ass.
Kiss my ass club. So yeah. So Sammy, hey, let me just tell you this. The worst thing about all that is that we were laughing at it on screen, but he really was acting out his deepest, darkest fantasies.
Oh man!
All in the name of
yeah, he was.
play. Oh, anyway,
so
yeah.
there was so much truth in everything that he did. And we didn't even realize it.
Sammy loses setting up his return to the bloodline for War Games. That'd be must-see TV if that happened, Larry. Honestly, that would be must-see TV. So, yeah.
Next up, we got the United States Championship. Logan Paul versus LA Knight.
Every time I keep thinking that Logan Paul loses,
he wins.
He wins, so I'm going to say he wins so he can finally lose. So I'd be great with LA Knight being champion as opposed to Logan Paul, but I'm going to go Logan Paul. So
I got LA Knight going with that one.
I hope you're right. I want to be wrong on that.
I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong so bad. But there's no way they let LA Knight win.
I just I think he pissed in Triple H's Cheerios, but keep going. So.
No, the thing is, well, hold on. Did LA Knight won in WrestleMania? He did win in WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm. But he was I forget. But he was taking on AJ, wasn't he? He was fighting
AJ Styles.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
AJ Styles put him over.
Yeah,
they're not letting Logan Paul put anyone over.
Mm-mm.
No, that's
him and his brother are so hated and have so much popular and all that. I mean, it's like
you want to see the villain win.
Oh, Larry brought up something. Logan isn't losing in his hometown. You're right about that. That's a great factor. That is a great.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
great factor on that one.
All right, next one up: Women's World Championship. Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley.
Listen, as much as I love Rhea Ripley, I have to agree with Larry. I think Dirty Dom is dirty, screws Rhea over, and somehow Liv Morgan survives. Think like how she won against Ronda Rousey 2 years ago at SummerSlam in Nashville. So I've got to go with my girl Liv Morgan on this one. So, yeah. Shorts.
Yeah, the shorts.
It's between Liv Morgan and
Rhea Ripley. Yeah, for the women's championship.
They don't let. When is Liv gonna have her moment? Like, is this gonna be it?
She should win clean, but I just don't think that's not her stick. She always finds a way to win with some interference.
Rhea Ripley keeps the title. It'd
be Ripley getting the title back.
Yeah, she keeps the title. Oh, she would be getting the title back.
Yep.
Larry going hard on this one. Liv wins the match and steals Dirty Dom afterwards. Way to go, Dirty Dom! Way to go!
It's the new battle over Dom.
It is. I mean, this guy.
It's no longer who gets the adoption rights or who becomes his daddy.
Yeah.
Who becomes his mom.
Dude, but I'll tell you this: Liv Morgan cut such a great promo on Raw the other night. It was so good, throwing the stuff in the barrel of fire. Oh my God! Like, she's got that crazy eye look, chick. Oh my goodness, I love Liv Morgan. She's great.
Oh man, I know why you love her.
Hey, real quick, to throw up that W, real quick. Oh my goodness!
All right.
Wait a minute, hold on. Larry had one more thought. I just want to see Liv in the booty shorts again. Show them cheeks, absolutely.
Show them cheeks is crazy.
I can't.
I need a Rikishi stink face.
Show them cheeks.
Oh,
hey,
that's
kids,
Thanksgiving blessing right there.
We keeping this a funny show. So,
yes.
Yes.
Wait. Do I need to wait? I'll put this up real quick. Hold on one moment. So we're safe. Real quick. Hold on 1 second.
Put the disclaimer up.
We ain't This is past your bedtime, so don't listen to
Yeah,
this
yeah,
part.
yeah,
So
yeah. This part.
hopefully you lost interest an hour ago when we were done talking about the West stuff. But
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah, yeah.
After 11:30, we have no
Yeah, you lost interest. You lost interest a long time ago once you got done with it. And we didn't talk about NCAA on the ear either. We didn't talk
yeah, we
about that
didn't.
yet.
No, we did
We
not
didn't
this
talk
week.
about
We'll talk about it
NCAA.
next week. So shoot, there's a
Yeah,
lot
we
to talk
got
about this
NCAA
week.
next week. Yeah.
Coaching hires, scrimmages. Oh my! So yeah.
Man, we did it, guys. Great
No,
stuff.
wait.
Man.
We still got a couple more matches,
Yep.
Shane. Yeah, we still got.
Oh, I'm
We got the
sorry.
big
My
one.
bad.
We got a couple big
Okay.
ones.
All right, next one up. WWE Women's Championship. Bailey versus Nia Jax.
Bailey. They will never put a
Bailey.
title on Nia Jax. I just hope Bailey doesn't get hurt.
Bailey.
I just hope Bailey don't get hurt.
Bailey.
Hey, Bailey and
Nia Jax, like, if Nia Jax wins, then that bloodline story comes a little bit deeper.
It's true.
If she wins. So I would say do they want to put the Nia Jax? Nah. Let me stay with what I said. I like to see Bailey. But if Nia Jax wins, the bloodline story becomes a little bit deeper.
I could see that. So
Yeah.
yeah, I got Bailey. So okay. What's the next one?
Next one is World Heavyweight Championship. Damian Priest versus Gunther.
Do you know? I'm gonna go. Listen, I think they should keep it on Damian Priest because I think he's absolute fire right now. But I think that something happens where Finn Balor screws over Damian Priest, and I think you even have a Judgment Day Civil War also being done. So I'm going to go with Gunther becoming the champ. There's got to be a title. There's got to be a title change at SummerSlam, and that's the one that looks to be the one that could be it, if not the Rhea Liv Morgan. So yeah,
I'm gonna say. You keep the belt on Priest.
I'd love it. I hope you're right. I want to be
Keep
wrong
the
on
belt
that one.
Priest.
Yeah, I want to be wrong on that
Keep
one.
the belt on Priest and let this build a budding rivalry.
Mm-hmm. Larry, Larry agreed with you two pair about Nia should win, and if she does, joins the bloodline. So he agreed with you on that one. So
yeah, because I feel like we kind of know what's happening, but you don't know. So you're kind of just playing. If I was writing for WWE, this is how I want to see SummerSlam. I want to see SummerSlam in a way of, if Nia Jax wins, the bloodline gets stronger. You know, so
it's got to be something that keeps your interest, because now you're competing with football and all these other sports. You know, back in the day, Rock and Austin could come out there. You'd switch from Monday Night Football to watch them. You know, now do you make that switch? I don't think so,
dude. I barely watch 30 minutes of wrestling. If it's Raw, if it's NXT, I may get in. I watch NXT more than I watch SmackDown. Yeah, I'm an NXT guy.
I guess the next one, Shane, is that the CM Punk referee match with CM Punk and Drew versus or CM Punk versus Drew with Seth Rollins as the referee.
Seth Rollins.
I want Drew to win, but I just think he's going to get screwed over, and they'll let CM Punk win that match.
They're building that storyline, and I told you, like, CM Punk is going to screw Drew McIntyre. It is a great storyline, but somehow, some way, Seth Rollins prevents that.
Okay.
Look for that to happen. If McIntyre wins, watch what happens.
It won't happen, but Brock Lesnar returned 2 years ago. Wouldn't it be cool for Brock to return to avenge Paul Heyman's attack and join his old rival Roman? Plus, Jacob Fatu versus Brock would be sweet. Larry, you can write, man. I'm telling you. Maybe these guys might get some thoughts together, and that would be a hell of a storyline if something like that happened.
would
I'd
be
be
a
all
hell of
for
a
it. Anytime you see
storyline.
Brock Lesnar, it's must-see TV. So, yeah, for sure.
And that leaves us with the undisputed championship.
Roman returns and helps Cody, just setting up the bloodline feud. I'll throw it out there. So, but I still want him to Samoan spike his ass in the throat. But yeah.
So has Cody been a boring champion?
The worst. The worst. I
So
mean,
he's
I,
been a
I could have
boring
a better
champion.
conversation with that white door over there that I walk through every day when I get home, honestly. So, yeah.
Oh my
Literally.
gosh,
So.
that's bad.
I mean, dude. It's just look. He's got a great theme song, but like Larry said, the promos were lame. He's been really fed some bad opponents, in my opinion. Not the level of opponents that I have seen on Raw. That's the problem, and I don't know. It's just he wasn't the guy to break the streak. It just wasn't, in my opinion. So yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, Cody retains.
Yeah. Yeah. But it will be nice to see Roman Reigns, because when you hear that music, by the way, everybody's just going to go nuts, that pop or what have you. And here's the other thing too. Would it be too much if maybe we threw something out there that before West runs through the sign and the band plays the music, that maybe we can play that Roman Reigns music when they kind of walk out of the field house? I mean, I'm just throwing that out there because you see 606 days. What are we, 25 days away? So we'll be 630 something days as champion. I mean, I'd love to hear that music, and it might make some teams, get a little nervous. And on top of that, too, it's a pretty cool, catchy tune, honestly, that they come out to the Roman Reigns music, West does. So, yeah. By the way, would you like to know the last time West lost a road game? I know that this is just a scrimmage and it doesn't count, but would you guys love to know the last time West lost a road game, by the way?
I would say it had to be 21.
Mm-hmm.
Is it was
What month
it
and
PAL?
to who? No, it wasn't to Pal. We
It
lost to
wasn't
them
the
at home.
PAL.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I knew it was 2021, right?
You did. Yep.
Is it October?
It's October. Yeah.
Is
Shane got it.
October?
Shane got it right. Shane got it right.
Maryville.
It's always Maryville.
Yeah, they beat us 34-7 and handed that West team their second loss of the year. And realistically, only two teams dominated that West team that year, and it was Powell with Walter Nolan and that Maryville team. Alcoa had to win by 1 point in overtime to beat West that year for the third loss that West suffered. West suffered 3 losses that year. Alcoa very close in overtime, and then 2 blowout losses, 30-something to 7 in each game to Maryville and Powell, respectively. But West has not lost a road game since October. I think it was 17th of 2021. So yeah. So that Bearden game, no pressure. That Bearden game, no pressure. So yeah.
Man, no pressure at all. That's gonna be a big night in the city.
Yeah, it is.
That's gonna be a real big night in the city.
It is. So, yeah. Blame the WWE Universe. They forced the main event only to want Roman the night after WrestleMania. Yep, that's correct. And then finally, that or Booker T. Can you dig it, sucker? I love it. I love that. Yeah, that would be awesome.
I love it.
Man, great show, though, tonight, guys. 2 hours, solid love. So, and I guess the consensus, we're going to try to make this happen, a post-game show live from Jefferson County there, 6 o'clock Friday night, West Rebels, baby. Let's do this thing.
Let's do it, man.
Yeah. Friday night, so for sure. Well, Shane, final thoughts, brother?
Oh, man, great show tonight. Fans, we love y'all. Thanks for the support. Players, keep working hard. Season's almost here. You got 25 days to really start making that road for number 3.
Absolutely. Keep up the good work, guys. We believe in you. You got a whole community behind you, parents, coaches, teachers, former alum, former players. All I just want you all to know is just keep taking care of yourselves, love each other, take care of each other, be one West, and take care of business Friday, and be careful out there.
That's it, man. You know what it is, man. Love, peace, chicken grease. Hey, don't step on them shoes and throw your dubs up, man.
That's it, baby. And remember, the cause don't stop when the clock hits 0, baby. We out.
Great show, guys.
Great show.